All right, welcome back to the ALG podcast. I appreciate you guys jumping on in, getting ready. Start off your Friday the right way. Today, I am joined by my partner in crime, Fit D-Rock, otherwise known as David Roden. Today, we have a very special guest, Chris Brun, otherwise known as Chris Cross Fitness, Chris Cross Applesauce. And I, well, you know me, I'm the guy who talks so much that you just want to keep on listening. It is I, J. Arp's Journey, otherwise known as John Arpino. And today we're going to talk all about Chris, because not everyone hates Chris. Everyone loves Chris. Chris is actually a really good friend of mine. We connected on Instagram, I don't know, a while ago. How long, Chris?
March?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 6 months.
No, I think even before that.
Even before that, I think, yeah.
So we've been rocking and rolling for a little bit. Chris is a very intricate piece to the ALG community puzzle, and me and David are just really happy to have him here. So, David, you have any thoughts before we dive into Chris's story? Anything you want to say?
Well, the one thing I just joked about before this started was he has the ability, since Angela's not in the room, to be able to say things that you can't say, because Angela be like, "Stop it! You can't."
No, but then
that.
She's still gonna listen to this later. So
yeah, but at least let me
it.
record it. So
She's not gonna listen to it for like a week or two.
Yeah, you're gonna have 2 weeks of buffer to kind of, if you say something you slip up, you're like, shit.
That's true.
But
for those that don't know, Chris is going out with Angela, who we had on the show by the time you listen to this, maybe 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
I don't know. I gotta stop doing things in the future. It's getting annoying.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. It's tough.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It's getting so annoying, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's start off the show. Chris, give me a little backstory. Where did it begin? What was your starting point? Kind of walk me through, because, we all have a great story. That's what's really cool about kind of the Instagram weight loss community is we all definitely have a story. We all have a reason why we started. We all have a reason why we're here, and kind of what kind of momentum pushed us to get us to this point. So first off, why don't you tell everyone listening, how much are you down?
My heaviest was 420 known, like on a scale was 420, probably close to 450. Right now I'm currently at around 225, 235. Okay. Kind of bounces between that. So about.
And you're on a bulk.
Yeah, I'm on a bulk, so it's going up a little bit. But I'm about 200 down right now.
Hey, that's incredible.
At my lowest, I was like 180.
You got down to 180.
Yeah.
Holy balls.
But he was scary, Mary. He was scary looking.
I'm 6'3". So it was.
You were
skinny.
6'3", 180.
Yeah, it was skinny. On my page, I have a couple. I'm
gonna have to look at it.
He was itty bitty.
I was so worried about just dropping the weight that I didn't really care to stop.
Right.
Or hit a stopping point. And even family members were starting to be like, you need to watch how far you're going. Right,
which is I think that's kind of a place that we all get to, especially if you start off at such a high weight. We just have this mentality, going into the journey of, I want to get skinny. I want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. I'm going to do everything I can to be skinny. And then you kind of don't know where to draw the line of what is quote unquote skinny.
Right.
For me, that was hitting a weight of 238, looking in the mirror and being like, wow, you look like a bag of shit, because I had no muscle. I was all skin and bone. I remember being able to see my cheekbones for the first time, and I was like, okay, this is enough. Like,
yeah, you had that sunken face.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a guy that was hitting his peak week before a show. Like I was getting Skeletor, and it was not good. So what would it take for you to kind of realize, hey, maybe there is such thing as, too skinny?
Well, I started because like with Weight Loss Society and weight loss in general, they always seem to tell you the scale is number one, right? Whatever you weigh. So that's why I continued to hit like 180. But then I started hitting the gym, and I started researching fitness and researching into weight training. And really all of that is based around not like putting muscle on, getting bigger, bulking up. And for my frame, I was never going to do that at 180. So that was the starting point of, I bulked up to like 220, 215, 220, and I stayed there forever. I just maintained that for like 2 years. And then, but really it was getting into the gym and starting to do research into weight training that got me off the being skinny and more strong and healthy.
So when you started this journey, what was your kind of, what did you envision for your personal growth and where you wanted your body? Was that, six-pack abs and, you wanted to look great, on the beach and, kind of paint me that picture? Because I feel
For
like,
me,
go ahead.
for me, starting was like just liking who I saw in the mirror. I guess it wasn't really. I knew I would never have a six-pack abs. I was never gonna be like the buffest, most chiseled person with where I was at the time. But I knew I could start to like who I saw in the mirror. And I knew I could start enjoying life again and actually getting out of bed and going and doing things and living life. Like, I was in my early 20s when I started this journey. So I was 23 turning 24. Like, I had my whole life ahead of me still, and I was living like I was dying tomorrow, basically. Like, I didn't enjoy going out. I didn't want to do anything. And so really all I wanted is to like the person in the mirror.
Right.
I think it's so important to know too, because like you're in a position very similar to John and myself where there's levels to this. Like, especially weight loss. It doesn't even have to be weight loss. Weight loss is one of those things because it always has a quote unquote baggage attached to it. I think more than anything with excess skin and stuff, that like the vanity of certain aspects, compared to say like transforming your accountability and say money. It's like, yeah, you were broke 30 years ago and now you're making millions. You don't think about oftentimes like, oh my God, I was broke 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's not like a thing. But it is so interesting because like all three of us have gone through the stages of not only the weight loss, but sustainability and the different challenges. So it's been fun to, as we kind of have this conversation, it's like, what avenue are we talking about right now? We're talking about like initial weight loss. Like, I just want to freaking gain my life back. Right. And that's where we're at with this. So off of what John was just saying. Yeah. So how did that, what was that kind of motivation from the original start?
So the original start motivation was just to one to get doctors off my back. Like,
how old are you again, Chris?
28.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was tired of hearing, hey, have we talked about your weight? Hey, you need to lose like 150 pounds. Hey, your BMI is horrible.
Yeah.
All these things, every doctor's visit, or getting blood pressured before dental office, like visits, because they weren't sure you could handle it, or any number of things like that is one of the biggest motivations. And then really it was just living life. Like, I would go to the fair with my parents or, friends, and we'd get to the front of the line. I'm too big to fit on it. I go to go walk the walk of shame and go down the stairs and pass everyone because I was too big to fit on the roller coaster or whatever. And you start to learn, like, I can't continue this path. Like, that's not life. That's not living. That's just existing.
Right. So you just felt like you were just kind of going through the motions of life. Every day was kind of the same.
Right.
And yeah, we've all been there. If, whether you're starting your journey right now, whether you started a year ago, whatever the case may be, I feel like at some point in time catches up to us and you realize, hey, I'm just living the same day over and over and over again. And it's like, it's like the Groundhog Day movie. And it gets tiresome. So, what I wanted to know was you said about like having to have your blood pressure taken, before a dentist office visit. A lot of people don't realize, when you are in that, extreme, morbid obesity range, getting something as simple as a tooth pulled can, not happen because of the fact that you are so overweight.
Right.
They can, if you have to get put under, anesthesia or something, it's not 99% of the time it's not happening.
Right. It's not a cakewalk.
Yeah. Above the 450 range, let's just say. So did you have any other prior ailments because of the obesity? Like, were you asthmatic? Did you have high blood pressure, sleep apnea?
So like growing up, I had asthma because I was kind of a skinny kid. And then I hit like middle school and I went from like 5'6" to like 6'2" over a summer.
Right.
But then that's when weight started to just boom, like, and I didn't ever slow it down. And so my knees kind of went over the years because I did play sports. I played football and basketball, baseball, all that. And so I was like the fat athletic kid.
Yeah.
Um,
They exist.
so
Yeah, that's very similar to
Yeah.
me. That's how
Yeah.
I was.
but my knees at this, like during that time, kind of went.
Mm-hmm.
They took a lot of pain from carrying 400 plus pounds, and then I was asthmatic. I'm no longer asthmatic. So it's one of those things that those type of things are reversible. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hell yeah.
I would get sick a lot when I was heavy. I was one of those kids that was sick all the time, missed a lot of school, because I was sick all the time. I literally probably was sick at least twice, 3 times a month.
Right.
Just because now that I've lost a lot of the weight, I'm not. I don't get sick very often, and if I do, it's for a day or two, and then I'm good.
Wait. Hold on. I know this is a recurring theme, but I think it's important to know. I thought you can be healthy at any size, and if you just believe in beauty, life is just sunshine and rainbows, and your heart just works just as fine. Your liver just works great. Your endocrine system is just sunshine. Just if you believe in the inner beauty of obesity, life is just sunshine and rainbows. That's not true?
No.
Oh my gosh, this is
I
a
know.
realization right now, boys and girls. I would have never thought. Hold on. See, now you're getting into some ballsy territory here, because now you're getting vindictive, saying how like being obese is not healthy. Like, doctors, you can't do that. You can't. That's not nice. It's not nice. I'm sorry. I had to.
So
I'm allowed to say it, people.
Oh, shit.
We've all been here. I'm allowed
Hell
to
yeah.
say it.
Hell yeah. No, I mean, looking back, it's hard not to make the connection of being a sick kid while being obese, and probably fighting some sort of underlying food addiction or eating disorder, because
Right.
if you're a quote unquote fat kid, what is a fat kid like? A fat kid likes McDonald's, Taco Bell, Wendy's,
Oh yeah,
all this
I ate out.
processed junk. So that suppresses the immune system. Am I right, science guy? Can I have a little backup on here? A little hot tag? No, nothing.
Nope.
Okay, on the science side now.
Everything's healthy in moderation.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm gonna be the science guy. No, but yeah, when you're eating nothing but fast food over and over and over again, like I think the three of us at one point in time was David. Are you gonna tell me that you weren't?
Yeet.
Okay, cool. That suppresses the immune system. So
100%.
100,000%. So now I love this, because I want to know, what was the go-to Chris meal?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so I don't know if you guys have Carl's Jr.'s out by you guys. I think
You
at
actually
Hardee's.
go to Carl's Jr.'s and Hardee's?
He's like the one guy.
You're a
That's who the commercials
sociopath.
are about.
It was
is just
Holy balls.
No,
What?
but the Western bacon cheeseburgers,
I've had it. Yeah.
like 2 of those and an order of fries and a soda was like go-to for that. But then
I didn't know people
fell in,
actually went there.
They do. They're still open. I mean, Arby's are still open, so.
Arby's are finally like.
Yeah,
really
but
getting
Arby's has got a
popular over here.
niche. Like, Arby's has got a niche to it. Like,
I guess
Carl's
I'm
Jr.
not-
and Hardee's, it's like it's like just a copy and paste of McDonald's. It's just not as good. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know about that one, but also
Have you had it?
McDonald's.
Have you had it?
Like, once. And
Yeah.
I was not impressed. Now, I will get it. We're going to go here. Sonic. What is your guys' opinion?
Oh, it's no.
It's awful.
I like their milkshakes.
Their milkshakes, absolutely. And,
But, like,
and
everything
their,
everything else
slushies.
Yeah,
truly
I don't
tastes like
normally
it's
get food
microwave.
from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Panera. It's just microwave hospital food for the most part.
Wait.
Panera-
Hold
I was
on.
gonna say,
Wait,
Panera's
just
not
Panera?
bad.
Oh, I just
Who the
shit all over Panera. Yeah.
Who
Oh,
the fuck are
man.
you?
Oh,
Panera's
yeah.
like a staple for me.
Is it?
It's a staple for me too. The green goddess salad is popping, but I'm letting you know everything else on the menu is microwave hospital food. I'm sorry. Have you ever watched them make anything there?
But it tastes
No.
good. It's
It's
not
like
actually
Applebee's.
like.
All right. Cool.
Applebee's is a microwave as a cook.
McDonald's used to taste really good for me too. I don't know what you want me to tell you here, David.
I just think when I think microwave hospital food, I just think it's bland and gross. But it's
Oh,
like I
no.
feel like
Oh, there's good hospital.
No, yeah, you're talking to a hospital professionale right here. I will tell you,
Yeah.
there is some good ass hospital food out there.
I don't know if I've ever actually had hospital. I guess one or twice I've had to have, but I don't remember it at all.
Oh yeah,
But-
not bad.
Mexican food too. Anything like Mexican food.
Well, you're in Cali,
was-
right?
It was
Are you in
was
SoCal?
go-to.
Where
No,
are you in
northern,
Cali?
like northern central.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like an hour and a half from Tahoe.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
give or take, right about that.
And you
Yep.
About
guys
an
still
hour
have
and
a
a half
lot of
from
Mexican
Tahoe.
food over there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's
I
a
love
lot of
Mexican
Mexican
food.
food here, but really, it was like not. I get nachos anywhere I go. Angela will tell you, it's the white person Mexican food I know. But I get if a place
I'll
has good nachos, I'll
quesadillas, it's
go
okay.
there.
Yeah.
Quesadillas.
Yeah.
I get chicken fajitas wherever I go.
Fajitas, I'm so happy
Two
someone
chicken
says it like me.
fajitas.
Oh, okay. Story time. Pivot.
Oh, Lord.
So I was with a couple buddies of mine. I was like, I don't know, like 21, 22. We're at some pretty dank Mexican restaurant, and I was joking back and forth at the table. I'm like, I'm gonna say vaginas instead of fajitas, and I was joking because the waitress was super hot, and sure enough, I was not ready for it. She turns around. What would you like? I was like, chicken vaginas. And I was like, shit. And everyone's just dying laughing. I didn't mean to say it, but I actually did say it. And she just starts dying laughing. I'm like, yep, you heard me.
Yep. Yep.
Damn it. Yeah, that happened.
Oh, God.
But
We had chicken fajita day at school, and it was epic. But anyway, so yeah, so you were the Carl's Juniors and Mexican food type of guy.
Yeah.
I could mess with that. I like that. That is good.
Yeah.
So what were?
But it was like daily.
Go ahead.
It was
Yeah,
like
well, that was going to be my follow-up
daily.
question. How often were you?
It was
in the
like,
Carl's
oh, I'll
Jr.?
have Carl's Jr. today, and then like Taco Bell the next
tomorrow.
day, and then Mexican or like Chinese food or pizza or this. Like it was just like one of those constant things. Like
I feel bad for fat people outside of New York because y'all say like you go get some Chinese food and some pizza and you think it's the greatest thing ever, but you never had it from the Mecca.
I was gonna say
I'm
pizza.
let you know. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
That shit hit different when you're in my border. But anyway, back to your regularly scheduled programming. So so now yeah, I see you eyeing me, David. I'm just letting you know in Michigan they got shit pizza. Shit pizza.
I'm just holding back. I'm just gonna keep them out.
I don't care.
Bite
You
my
can tell me
tongue.
about Jets pizza all you want or whatever you guys eat over there.
Those are fighting words.
Bro, I'm just letting you know, dude. I could take you to
Frickin-
5 places right now.
New York floppy pizzas.
Ooh,
Okay. Anyway.
I have no fight in this game, so
You literally don't. Not a, I just
I'm
love
from
how
California.
I like how the kid from Michigan thinks that he has a fight in this game. Michigan, the only place in the world where you could stand anywhere and you're 85 miles from a lake equally, because it just doesn't make sense in my head. Anyway, there's your geography lesson of the day.
Oh shit,
We're
So, Chris.
just chopping it up here, Chris. We're pulling it back to you.
you're good.
Oh, it's funny. All right, so back to Chris eating whatever he wanted when he was in high school, early college. Obviously, Hardee's Jr. Terrible freaking choice. I don't understand.
Yeah, this
it.
was
like
early
I
high
don't get
school, late high school.
But I guess we all have our own vices. I just would have
Right.
chosen a better one. But that's all right.
That's fine. It is what it is.
I wasn't picky with fast food, really. Though,
You can't
is the
be
bad
picky.
Thing.
Yeah, you
No,
know, you
it
can't come
was
from a
like-
place of pickiness.
Not when you're that heavy or when you just don't give a shit. Like
Right.
you just eat whatever you want
Exactly.
or what's
100%.
cheap off the dollar menu.
So what? I want to kind of back up a little bit. I know we're kind of jumping all over the place with you, Chris, but you know, there's a
you're
lot
good.
of information. I kind of want to set the table a little bit more.
Yeah.
What was kind of give me like what it was like growing up for you, like in school? Were you the fat funny guy? Because that's a conversation I love to have because I feel like a lot of us kind of develop that mentality of being the fat funny guy. Were you kind of the behind the scenes fat guy? Like, were
Right.
you bullied a lot? Were you popular? These are the things that I want to know.
Middle school to like high school, I was, like I said, I was kind of an athlete. So I was kind of popular, but I was still that fat guy that most people were just friends with because of my size, not
Right.
because they were actually friends with me. So I would say I was like popular, but not in the cool kid way.
Mhm.
I tried a lot of times, I think, to use like humor and be the funny fat guy because it's easier that way. People think you're funny, they'll hang out with you.
Yeah.
They like you as a person. So, and then high school, kind of the whole thing changed because with middle school I was kind of not the only one, but one of the only people there that was like 280, 300 pounds at like 13, 12.
Yeah.
Guilty.
And
Guilty. Yeah.
everyone else was like either really short or, you know, skinny. And it's like, but then you go to high school and there's multiple, like a lot of people are your size or around your size.
Your size meaning height or your size meaning weight?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Because like you have people that are skinny, you have people that are tall, you have people that are heavy, in the middle of that. Definitely playing football in high school. You have.
So you were still playing football then?
I played football my freshman year.
Okay.
And then I blew out my knee, and actually ended up going to homeschool for my last 3 years of high school.
Wow. Hello.
Because
COVID hit?
I was, yeah, I know, right? No, I was falling behind with missing school because of blowing out my knee, because they had me on crutches and trying to go to classrooms and stuff. So then they just were like,
so okay. you were over 400 pounds trying to trot your ass on crutches?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Guilty.
no.
I've done that too.
Wow.
Brutal.
Yeah, well, I was probably about 360
so
about that time. I wasn't quite to 400 yet.
Okay.
So yeah, trying to walk around with a backpack, crutches, plus that weight in a high school environment. Yeah, so my mom was like, "No, you're gonna go to homeschool for now until at least you get that." And then it just became, I was an honor student. I aced everything. I just didn't do well in the classroom setting.
You didn't like the social setting. That's fine. Yeah.
Not as much, like, I like the social setting in terms of like people, but not as much of the disruption or like having 45 kids in a classroom and you're not understanding it. Well, good luck.
Right. Now, was this your mom teaching you? Or you had?
I went through I had like a teacher.
Okay, that's cool.
That I would meet with like every week and go over all my stuff and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So I still had to do like schoolwork. I had to do legit, like schooling and everything, but that was then also the problem is I was at home a lot. Food was readily available. Scale slowly just went from 360 to like 400 plus, and then just kept going. Because no one in your family ever tells you, "Hey, you're fat. You need to slow down. Back off.
You're just fluffy."
Were there ever the subtle hints? Because there was times where my family would start to kind of drop little breadcrumbs. There was times where David, your family just loves you way too much.
I know.
My grandmother was the one. My grandmother.
It's grandma's. It's always grandma's. Give it to me. What did she?
Because she was like, I would get like food at like super late at night, and she'd be like, "Do you really need that? Do you really want to eat that right now?
Sounds like my grandma.
Didn't you just eat a little while ago?"
Yeah.
And so it just that started to click, because everyone else, they love you, they don't want to hurt your feelings, but in some ways I'd rather, looking back, I would have rather them said something, but
I do got to bring this up because when I say, because I was just looking it up because I think it's fun. You're only people that are watching the YouTube want to be able to see this. But when I say I was a friggin' bowling ball at like 14.
Oh, no, I know you were. I've seen that picture.
Look at that. I was a straight bowling ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, if that doesn't give you any incentive to watch the YouTube video, then I really don't know what's going to, because you need to see that. Okay.
Oh, I was all of 250 pounds at like 12.
Yeah. No, it was
like 10.
Yeah.
No.
So
your grandma's trying to
My grandmother is very blunt. The grandmothers or grandparents in general, I feel like are the very ones blunt. That are very blunt. Your parents are always loving, and then if you have siblings, they give you a hard time. But
you know what's interesting with that?
I am.
Okay. It's funny with my grandma. Like, it's always interesting because it's like, do you talk about family stuff? My grandma's very interesting. I love her to death. I love my grandma. She's a character. We're just going to say the word character. Hates fat people.
Okay.
Does not like fat people.
All right.
We're talking, and it's so ironic because like your grandson's morbidly obese.
Now this is your mom's dad or your dad's?
This is my mom's mom.
Your mom. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why.
Mom.
Your mom's dad.
My mom's dad.
That's exactly what he said.
That's where we're going. No, my mom's mom, she does not like fat people. She does not. She's been skinny her whole life. There was a time, and she has zero filter. When I say there's zero filter with this woman, there is nothing. We're in Florida, and my mom's driving the car. I'm in the back seat. 400-pound David is in the back seat. My grandma's in the passenger seat, and we're driving through this strip mall after getting breakfast, and this like 450-pound just behemoth of a woman is waddling across the street into the grocery store, and the windows are down. And my grandma goes, "Now, Karen, be careful not to hit fat ass. If you hit her, she's going to break the car." And like the woman heard this, not to mention your grandson's in the back seat, fat as this woman. And like, and my mom's like, "Mom, you can't say shit like that." And she's like, "Well, it's true."
Jesus.
So my grandma's a character. We're just gonna put it at that. I love her to death. She makes
She
some
never
mean
said anything
food.
to you.
Never said a thing to me.
Never. Hates
She
fat people, but you were off limits.
despises fat people, but I was off limits. Wouldn't say anything to me. It was fascinating. And she would make me so many cookies and all the goulash I ever wanted and all the food. She loved to bake. She loved to cook. And so she would make enough for what your boy would want to put down, but she would never say anything to me, which is
so
fascinating.
weird. Did she talk shit behind your back?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, there it is. All right, bet. She was talking mad shit behind your back.
Probably.
I'm just letting you know. Yeah.
I've never personally, I'm not going to say I ever experienced it. So like, I've never heard through the grapevine, like, "Hey, grandma told Uncle Steve that Uncle Steve's told my cousin told me, hey."
No, I want your mom on the podcast soon because I'm going to ask your mom all the hard-hitting questions.
That's too funny. She's actually got a really cool weight loss story too. That's part of my motivation of my weight loss. She's lost like 80 pounds.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
all right, cool. David's mom's going to be on the podcast soon, guys. So mark that one in your calendar.
Not a chance. She hates being in the limelight. Absolutely despises it. It's like never going to happen. My mom, are you guys there? Hello?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you almost died. So we're going to pretend that this part's not here. I'm going to see. David, are you good?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Give me a wave. Give me a wave.
Froze.
Okay, cool. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
David, what I'm about to tell you is very serious. You have to cut this part of the fucking podcast.
Fine. Damn it. Fine. I will.
Cool. All right, now we're going to start.
And we're back. Yeah, just so you know, there's not a chance my mom will be on here. She absolutely hates being in the limelight. I love my mom to death. Not a chance.
All right. No worries. No issues. We'll get her on. Don't worry about it. I'm going to just, hit her up on Facebook or something.
Good luck.
But anyway, so Chris,
Yes.
we said before your family wasn't really, leaving you the breadcrumbs. They weren't really trying to tell you, "Hey, Chris, you kind of have a problem." So what was that ha-ha moment? Like, where were you? What were you doing that you kind of took a step back and was like, "All right, Chris, maybe it is time that we make a little bit of a change here"?
Well, because like I hit like my highs, like
Right.
360, 400, whatever. And I was like, all right, I know how to do this. I played sports. I know how to work out, kind of. I didn't really know weight training, but I knew eating right and working out probably lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
So I would lose like 30 pounds and then
Gain it back.
gain 40
Right.
because I would get tired. I was so restrictive and so like follow this restrictive by the T, nothing off of it. And then you just get to a point where you're like, this sucks.
Right.
I don't want to do this. And then so you go and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go eat mac and cheese.
And then you
Taco
binge.
Bell.
Yeah.
And then you binge. And then you're like, well, there goes all that. Might as well not try.
Right.
And so I finally got to a point where you probably know who Diamond Dallas Page is.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Okay. So DDP Yoga, I will give the shout out to him on this. I saw the ads for it on like a YouTube video or something. And I was like, oh, I know who that is. Like,
Right.
because I'm a diehard wrestling fan, same
Mhm.
as John. And so I was like, I'm going to order it. I didn't tell my parents. I just ordered it myself. I was like 22? 22-ish.
Wow, it was still
22,
pretty new
23.
then. Yeah.
It was like brand new.
Yeah.
But I was like, this looks like something like it's comfortable. I think I can do it. It's not like I have to go running or like any of this stuff. It's based on what you can do. And so I ordered that and I started to do it. And oh my God, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard.
Yeah.
And I did it for a while and then I gave up a little bit on
Yeah.
it. I was like, fuck, this sucks. I'm in pain all the time. I'm just sore. I don't know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I can't do like the next step video. So I'm stuck on this first video for like 3 months.
Right.
So then I was like, all right, I'm going to put that to the side. And my aha moment was like, okay, I'm doing it though. So then I started to walk. Then I started to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm actually like progressing. Like my weight's going. Like I lost like 50, 60 pounds in like 2 or 3 months. Like
Right.
I was really doing it.
And what were you eating then?
Chicken, rice, vegetables every day, 3 times a day. Pretty like super strict, super like
Super broy. I get it.
broy. Yes.
You're a bro. I get it.
I like,
just
but it was-
I love the bro way to eat. It doesn't.
But it
bother
was
me.
literally what I knew because I didn't want to follow diet. I wasn't gonna because I don't even think keto was a thing back then.
No, it wasn't.
Or
If this is like around the time DP Yoga came out, absolutely not.
because I was like 23, 24. I'm 28, so about 5 years ago.
Right.
So I don't think keto was a thing, but like, if it fits your macros was the big thing back then,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I still do. But that's what I downloaded MyFitnessPal and I went with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my aha moment though was literally just being like, I'm doing this.
Right.
I can do this. The weight is going and I have to. I had a doctor tell me, I think right before I started, you may not live past 30. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. That's always a
Like-
daunting conversation.
I'm like, what do you mean? I'm only 24. Like,
Mhm.
I'm only going to live for another 6 years. So, like, yeah, anyone could die tomorrow. You could get hit by a train or a bus or anything. But to have someone tell you, you will not make it past this date because of your weight is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people go through that every day. But that was my aha, like, I have to make a change.
Well, it's interesting because like it sounds like very similar to mine of just like it wasn't day one where you were just like, I'm losing 200 pounds. Here we go.
No.
It was like, all right, I'm just going to move in a general direction. And then as you kind of created momentum,
Yeah.
it was once you hit like that 40, 50 pound mark, you were like, all right, it's go time. This is dope.
No, 100% on that.
Yeah,
It
that was very very similar to me. I didn't have like on November 2nd, 1965. Like I couldn't tell you a date when it happened.
No, but do you kind of remember a highlight in your head of like, so like for me, for example, it took me a very long time to physically see progression. So because I couldn't physically see the progression, it didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. It made it more like, okay, you have to put in more effort because you want to be able to see it. Now, people were telling me, hey, bud, you're losing weight. Like, you look fantastic. And I'm saying, like, I didn't see physical progression for the first 150 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But that was just psyche, body dysmorphia, a whole bunch of bullshit playing with my own head. For you, you said that you lost your first 50 pounds rather quickly. Did you notice it? Or was it more people telling you, hey, Chris, you look fantastic. Hey, Chris, are you losing weight?
Oh, no, 100%. It was other people.
Okay.
I didn't see it in the mirror.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it. I didn't see it until probably like close to 125, 150, same as you. Like I struggled so bad because I would watch the scale like diligently
I was addicted
every
to
day.
the scale. Yeah.
Every day. And the scale wouldn't go down and I'd freak out. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What happened? Or it'd go up and I'm like, oh my, what the hell did I do? And I ate exactly the same everything.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't see it until probably 100, 150 pounds in.
Mm-hmm.
Until people were like, dude, you look really good. Like, where are you going to stop? I was like, oh, I got to think about that, I guess, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't see it. I just saw the old Chris, I still do. That's a horrible body dysmorphia thing I still see at times like the old me.
Oh yeah.
The fat me. But then I also remember how far I've come. So
which is what you have to remember. Yeah.
That's always like my go-to because like, I do the same thing where it's like, if I ever am feeling goofy comparing myself to some just genetic Greek god of a male specimen, you're just like, all right, let's bring up this picture. Okay.
David, I'm Italian, not Greek, but I appreciate it.
Sexy piece of man meat.
Chiseled man meat.
Chiseled.
Or a chiseled piece of man meat.
Sorry, I had to take it there.
That's an ALG inside joke. If you're not part of the Discord server, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So
Chiseled piece of
become
meat.
a part of it. Come hang out with us.
Chiseled piece of man meat. Chiseled piece of man meat. But no, I completely. It's like that. This is what I was kind of going back to, like from what we said from the beginning. It's like weight loss is different than pretty much any other accountability in life. Where there's you get into relationships probably very similar too, because you have that massive emotional connection. But like money and like other places where it's just like, yeah, I was broke and homeless at 22, and now you're a multimillionaire at 35. You're not sitting there going, am I still broke and homeless? Like, it's
Right. No, that's one where you could go, oh, look at my TD account. Oh, no, there's a phone number in there. Yeah.
Okay. That's right. But other than that, I mean, you can always, if you so desired, with science in the brain and how you focus on things, it's like I could sit here and go like, oh, look at the little bat wing. Oh,
I do that all the time.
Wow. or like, wow, where is this going? Why is like, and you can always do that. That can really spin you pretty quick.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Because, John, you've gotten your stomach.
Yeah, I had
And then you had your
tummy tuck.
David. You had your chest, right?
Yeah,
I've had
everything.
I've had both. Yep.
And so I've had neither.
Right. That was gonna be my next question for you.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've talked about it. I've looked into it. But again, I think I wear it as me. It's who I am. It's part of me.
You take like the obese to beast approach.
Yes, 100%. Or the Poro.
It's a good, it's a great approach. Yeah.
Yeah. Poro doesn't want to do surgery either.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he wants to in the future. Right now, he's very comfortable in the skin he is in. And good for him. I mean, I support both ends of the spectrum.
100%.
You could feel comfortable after a 250-pound weight loss with all the skin in the world, and you could love it, and if it doesn't give you problems, if it doesn't chafe, if it doesn't give you infections, then hey, keep it on. Why drop, $22,000 to get your whole body changed if you don't have to?
But there's still the body dysmorphia that happens with it.
Right.
And like, I still struggle. There's days where I struggle really bad with it. Like, I still won't take my shirt off in front of people that are not like family or very close friends.
Right.
Because of it. At times,
I don't think you've ever posted, right? Shirtless.
I have.
You have
not in a while.
I've seen a couple.
Not in a while.
Well, because when you got fucking pythons for biceps, like
I mean, you wouldn't
my
have to
arms
show
have
tits,
filled out, but
that's
my
great.
stomach. It's my stomach that mainly.
And there's nothing you can do about
there's
it.
nothing you can do. You're 400 plus pounds, and you lose 200, 220, 40, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have loose skin.
Not true, because It Works. I had a rep from It Works hit me up and say, hey.
Did you get the wrap?
You didn't need to have excess skin removal surgery. All you need to do was saran wrap your body in the
You silly goose. What? Why? Why did you go have surgery? You could have just put saran wrap. You silly
this woman, how I gave her sunshine back. I was like, hey,
dude,
to each their own. I wanted to get on this woman's life.
No.
I've totally changed how I approach people like that, especially the MLMs. I end it with like a God bless all the time now, because I don't want them to think I'm being a vindictive asshole. But when I'm really just telling them, go fuck yourself and don't bother me.
Yeah.
I being in the network marketing industry as long as I have, I have such a love-hate relationship for it. It's so funny because when I get DM'd, I'm like, I know what's about to happen. I know we're going. Oh, I already checked your website. I know you're in Herbalife.
Well, I used to be an ACN, right?
You were an ACN.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
We learn something new every day.
Yeah, that's why I have no respect for MLMs.
No,
I did it as a favor to my best friend, but yeah, I was in ACN for like 3 years.
ACN's a fascinating company.
Very fascinating. I mean,
we won't go into it. But
but it is. It's
been around for a minute. I can tell you that.
The spokesman used to be the president of the United States, which is absolutely wild to me. Mm-hmm. It's wild.
ACN is. I mean, it's been around for freaking 40 years, so it's like it's not going anywhere. And I mean, it's the telecom space, so it's a pretty solidified space. Yeah. But it's like it's just like I would put it very similar to the weight loss industry, which is like they give you sunshine and fucking rainbows.
So much sunshine and rainbows.
And it kind of gets you a little bit, because it's like you can get all this with no work, and it's just like that shit fucking annoys me.
Science.
Yeah, science.
Science.
Drink my yellow drink and you'll lose 40 pounds.
Actually,
of fat.
now that we're on the MLM playing field, let's talk fad diets for a second, guys.
Ooh, okay,
Let's talk kind of like that realm, the Herbalife. I mean, Herbalife I wouldn't say is a fad diet, but that's an MLM.
Okay.
But did you participate in any fad diets or MLM weight loss kind of shit?
No, not really. No.
So because you were just very much the classic.
I feel like one day he woke up one day and was like, I'm going to eat clean, and then that was it, which is great. I think that's awesome.
Well, I went cold turkey off everything.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
And define everything. What do you mean by everything?
Sweets, sugar, soda, everything went out the window. I was an asshole to everyone.
Tell him my favorite fact, David, why he was an asshole. Why was it? Tell him.
Wait, what?
Tell him my favorite fact about sugar.
Oh, it has the same like addictive nature as cocaine. It actually hits all the same. It hits all the same places in the brain for the addiction of coke, and so like you actually it's a physical addiction.
It's like an addiction. Yeah.
And then when you go off,
it's not like an addiction.
Terrible. No,
it
it's
physically
an
is
addiction.
addictive.
Yeah.
Favorite fact. That's it.
So the funny thing is, I had an Instagram before this one that was fairly popular when I first started my journey. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't actually. No, what was it?
It's same basically. Chris X Cross Gets Fit. It was or Getting Fit, something like that. And
because I followed it.
I'm pretty sure we followed it. Yeah.
Yes, this is why I knew you before. When you said 6 months, I was like, no, Chris.
No, it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I went away. I stepped away from Instagram.
He did hard time, folks. He went away. You heard that?
I went away for I stepped away from social media because it became very like all encompassing, like everything, posting, updating. And I mean, it was great. Yeah, I was super active,
watch Social Dilemma and it'll open your eyes up to all that shit.
Changed the whole game.
So then I restarted this one basically at the start of COVID, like March. But no, what I was getting at is with the old one is Herbalife, all those were very active back then. Like getting the messages, getting it work stuff.
Yep.
All this stuff. Never did I fall into any of that stuff. The only thing I did do for like 6 months was I went vegan.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Hardcore vegan.
Yeah.
Like vegetarian or vegan?
No, like vegan, like no meats, no, like nothing. Like
no gelatin? No gelatin.
I went vegan.
That's crazy.
And what was the motivation behind that?
I thought it would be a good idea.
Wait, all right. Well, it's not that it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
No,
but how did you feel physically? Because that's what it comes down
I felt
to.
fantastic off, and I know this is crazy, when I wasn't eating meat and wasn't eating it, like my stomach, everything felt fantastic.
Yeah.
So I would 100% say at least try it once. There's a lot of people that have made it work and are fucking phenomenal, like McKenna.
Oh yeah, Kayla, she does fantastic, dude.
Yeah,
fantastic.
and they are fantastic. And if it works for you, 100% I support it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I don't care what diet, what anything you do. If it works for you, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
You need to feel comfortable. That's the thing. Like you need to feel like you're hitting all the bullet points that make you happy in life while taking care of yourself.
100%.
So if that means not eating eggs ever again, well then cool. Don't eat fucking eggs, bro. Like,
right. And that's like now there's like 17 different diets.
Oh, there's levels to this shit now.
Oh, there are.
I know. There's more than 17. You know,
my favorite one, because I kind of like, sometimes I feel like I'm more plant-based. Like, I think that's like my favorite terminology now, because it's being vegetarian, vegan, without actually committing to the fact of never eating meat again. As long as like, I don't know, 75% of your plate is vegetable oriented.
Yeah.
It's like you're plant-based, which I like that. Most of the stuff that I eat is either chickpea or lentil, and then I have my protein, which is the chicken, and I'm plant-based, guys. That's it. I'm putting it on my profile later. I'm plant-based.
There you go.
I would. I'm
not doing it. Yeah.
I would say that's not plant-based, but that's
it's not.
me.
No, I know it's not. But
no,
there's an ass for every seat.
There's an ass for every seat. No, it's so interesting. Like when you get into diets and nutrition plans, it is so funny to me that every 6 months to a year, there is the next anti-diet diet. There's the next fad, whatever. Like the new one to me that I'll be hammering on for a while now is this whole intuitive eating thing.
Yeah.
Like
Which one is that again? That's the eating when you want because you feel like you're hungry.
Yeah, it's feeling out your body.
Man, I feel hungry all fucking day.
That's what I said.
I eat all the time.
I'm like,
man.
you're out of your fucking mind. That may work for Princess Shania, who's 30 pounds overweight, who you just need to kind of. Well,
it's for the people that have never had an eating disorder.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm saying, or have been addicted to food.
Yeah, but it's like you tell 410-pound David that you need to learn how to feel out your. Now again, I intuitively eat now.
Yeah,
because I've learned it and I have foundations, but
that's years.
Oh yeah, and you're sitting here going, you're gonna tell a 400-pound person that their feelings are somehow relevant to how they feel nutritionally. No. I'm like, they're so addicted to sugar right now that it's like you're out of your fucking mind.
So wait, break up what you would define as intuitive eating and grazing. Really quick.
Intuitive eating is basically being able to eat whatever you want to eat.
Oh, it's whatever.
It's whatever. And nothing is unhealthy in moderation.
Okay.
So it's like, if you want to eat a Snickers bar, you can eat that Snickers bar. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
as long as you're feeling hungry.
And like, now again, there's some more teachings of
I feel like that's what got me to be 510 pounds.
I was going to say.
Bro, it's so funny because what gets me, it's classic, I don't want to say the L word, but it's the L word. Just sunshine and rainbows where friction is bad and like restriction is bad. And it's like
that word you were looking for, lazy?
Liberal as
well. Oh, liberal. Oh, yeah. Never mind. Nope. Edit that one out, David. We're not going down that path.
But it's just like this classic. Well, if you can help them feel like eating healthier, but still out there, and it's like, I'm sorry, like this idea that it's not a diet. Like if it looks like a duck, it smells like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
I just don't like the word diet.
Oh, I agree. Like nutrition plan, whatever.
Diet,
lifestyle.
Diet
lifestyle
was what
eating.
I think makes people fail.
Right. Because again, they think of a
agree.
beginning and an end.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a diet. It should be changing your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I guess, and what gets me too is then the I've seen more than not. I'm not saying everyone in the intuitive eating space is this way, but I've seen more than not. They start getting into this dangerous game of you can be healthy at all body sizes, and you can be and size doesn't necessarily mean health. And doctors are I'm like,
I don't know. Visceral fat really still does mean you're unhealthy to me.
Yeah, I'm like. Now again, I think health does health does have a foundation to it. Like 30 pounds of excess weight of cheesecake and beer is fine. It's like 30 pounds, whatever. But 100, 150. Right. 200 pounds.
Yeah.
If it looks like a duck and smells like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck, and that is not healthy. Like it's just not.
No.
And so it is so interesting because I tend to see the body positivity and a lot of these intuitive eating, as I call them, zealots. Like they tend to come together because it's just like this harmonious position of like, just eat greens and you're healthy at 410 pounds. No, you're still not healthy. Like, no, you're not. And so yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I mean, I'm all for and I support like people being proud of themselves and being body positive and stuff like that. But you have to also understand, like, being 400 pounds or 300 plus pounds. I know it's an unpopular thing to say, but being that big is not healthy in general.
There is a very thin line between being body positive and being bluntly unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is the line that needs to be unblurred because that is what we are experiencing on social media to the point where now, Huge Fat Loser posted this the other day. If someone has the name fat in their name and you go to look it up, or skinny, for example, in their name and you go to look it up, Instagram will send you a message and ask you if you're okay mentally. Like it'll send you links and it will ask you, is everything okay? Are you feeling safe and stuff like that? So that's where we're at now. And I think that's like a terrible place to be at. Again, speaking as someone who lived a very full life at 510 pounds. Now, when I say a full life, I mean 20 years of being morbidly obese.
Right.
I will say again, please, there is a very, very big difference between being body positive and loving the body that you're in and being bluntly unhealthy.
Yeah.
Because, and that's a
100%.
line that we cannot teeter over, because then you're going to have a whole generation of people that are 450 pounds plus, not going and seeking help when they need help, not finding an appropriate doctor to help them through whatever they need. And then you're going to have this whole generation of just people that don't live past 30.
And pure naivety. It's like body positivity to me is always like, it's like Nick, whatever his last name, he has that very Italian Nick, no legs and one arm.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't even remember his last name, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
So like, you're born with no legs and an arm. You got to be body positivity and love who you are.
He's got one finger, right? Is that the whole gimmick? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got one finger on one arm and then no legs.
Right.
And it's like, you got to own that shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously.
That's
like
body positive.
That's body positivity.
Yeah.
Body positivity and fat are not the same thing.
No.
Because fat is a habitual for the vast majority. Again, I think what's really cool is by the time this episode comes out, we have had someone on the opposite spectrum speaking on this topic.
Right.
And Kara. It's just really cool. Like, obviously there's genetic, like she has an illness, like the whole lipidemia and how fat metabolizes for her. Obviously we need to, again, she's genetically in a position where she's not ever going to be, no matter how much she quote unquote starves herself, she will never be at a healthy body weight, which is genetically her situation. She needs to be body positive about.
Right.
But
100%.
400-pound David telling my mom after I talked to my friends about how, hey, mom, my friends think I weigh 300 pounds, but I'm actually 400. So I look pretty good for 300 pounds or for 400 pounds.
400 pounds, yeah.
That's called living in sunshine and fucking rainbows land. That's the big difference.
Right.
Absolutely.
No, 100%. And that's the thing too. I would always tell people, people would be like, oh, how much do you weigh? I'd fucking under 100 pounds.
Oh yeah, always. You
know
always shoot
so
100 pounds lower. Yeah.
It's like mentally you tell yourself, you'll lie to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're 400 plus pounds. Oh, I'm only like 320, 330. That's not healthy for anyone.
No, it's a mental illness.
That's living in like a place of like fairy tale, basically, of like, oh yeah, I'm good.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And that's all three of us have said that to ourselves.
And I want to stress this one more time before we kind of pivot from this. This is three guys who have lived a very extreme morbid obese life. This is not three guys who are coming back and forgetting who they were. No.
No, 100%.
This is three guys who carry who they were with them every single day.
And we have complete frame of reference for it.
Yes, 1,000%, because I know for a fact, and I welcome it. I want it. I want people to say and leave comments like, oh, well, you guys forgot what it was like to be fat. No, I'm telling you right now that not one single bit of me forgot what it was like to be 510 pounds. I still dream at night that I'm still 500 pounds. I still look in the mirror sometimes and think that I'm 500 pounds. It's not something that just fucking disappears, guys.
No,
not when you
100%.
live it as long as guys like us have lived it. So again,
it wasn't,
positivity.
It wasn't an overnight, oh, we were only, 500, 400 pounds for like a year. No, this was like from
a decade in the making.
13 to 22. Yeah.
Right.
12 years of being overweight, being obese, being laughed at or made fun of. That doesn't go away ever.
Nope.
So I know I was going to say this too. I know people are probably going to say we're being uncaring or
they're
whatever
not
of anything.
No,
but
this is a former 500-pound guy shaking you and telling you, hey, buddy, like, you get it together because I care.
You have to do something.
Right.
And it's so interesting too, off of what you were saying. Number one, like, the biggest motivations for me had nothing to do with what people are saying to me personally. Looking back on that, like thinking about whatever, not being able to be on this team or this team, that's irrelevant. Just how I feel on a day-to-day basis, how much more energy I have, how much, like, all that kind of stuff is, and it's interesting. Like, I think all three of us will say this on this front, which is, we're not perfect. We're not going to sit here and act like we're somehow in the most ideal perspective. Because, for example, a fault for me, I'll tell you right now, I know it for a fact. I think, so I am only attracted to extremely fit women. That's just a reality. And I think it is a projection of being so afraid of being caught with an obese woman because, number one, of what she would happen to her, and number two, having like kids that are like a genetic predisposition.
I understand what you're saying.
And so I'm like, okay, I need to, if I'm going to have kids, she better
I have
be
to fix my gene pool.
Yeah, I got to fix my gene pool here because
Yeah.
obviously, and so like that's something we can actually talk about.
Right.
But it's like this idea that somehow it's to ever say it's okay and healthy to be obese.
No, 100%. It's not healthy ever to be obese. No.
It's frightening because there are people who have pages that are like ours, but the total opposite, where people are actually paying them to eat more food.
Yep.
And to put on more and more weight. And that's like the scary end of all this. And that's the frightening end of social media. Like everyone wants to say, oh, well, the weight loss community is so poor for your mental health. And yes, I'll be honest with you. I'll be the first person to tell you, yeah, there's a lot of bits and pieces of the Instagram weight loss community that are definitely not good for someone's mental health. But I'm letting you know right now, someone who is paid money to consume and to consume and to consume with no regard for their personal well-being, that is not good. I mean, I'm not going to talk ill about somebody that I don't know, but again, that is just not healthy. And again, this is just this is three people who have lived that lifestyle and 100%. fought to get out of it. Again, like Chris said before, we didn't go to sleep one night and wake up magically 200 plus pounds less. You know, it was years of personal torment. It was years of personal, like, hating ourselves. Because I think I'll speak for all three of us. We hated ourselves at one point in time, right, boys? Like, I mean, there's got to be a piece of
100%.
So
and understandably so. Like this is also a thing that I think is so important. There's nothing wrong with hating pieces about yourself that you can change.
No, yeah, that's totally normal.
Pain is fantastic. Now, forcing yourself to believe that you're stuck there, that is a dangerous place to be. Like that's for me, like the hardest part was getting myself to empower myself to say that, yes, I hate where I fucking am. I'm 410 pounds. I fucking hate it. But getting that next step to, I'm going to change it. I am changing it.
Right.
That's a step that needs to be said. But like this idea that it's like the whole pain and pleasure thing. Some people, it takes massive amounts of pain to get them to the motivational point to like take the actionable steps, to set a goal, to do the things they need to do. And some people it's pleasure. Some people need sunshine and rainbows. Some people need that support system. Some people just need Chris to text them saying, you got this. Some people need John to just see like a story that they can latch onto.
Right.
But both are effective.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's where the misconception is a lot of times with, actually, this is kind of funny. So like my first 110 pounds of my weight loss was all sunshine and rainbows on social media. It was all, you can do this, you can do this.
Yeah.
I got this. But behind closed doors,
you were hating
I was on me. I was like, you got to do better. I know you can do better.
Yeah.
And I was on myself behind closed doors because I needed that in my life. And but then when I started to portray that on social media after I'd already lost 100 pounds, some of my social media following was like, you're being very, very aggressive and negative. I'm like, no. It's not negative. That's being assertive on what you are capable of. It's like masculine. It's like nowadays masculinity is being attacked as somehow evil. And it's like, there's obviously good masculinity and bad masculinity, just like I was good femininity and bad femininity. And it's funny how that's unfucking acceptable and being that hard on yourself. When I did that on my social media, I also got pushback like, oh, I liked it better when you were all sunshine and rainbows.
Well, because no one wants to no one wants to hear the hard or hear the bad or hear. A lot of times people, they only want to see or hear the good. And
what was your hard, Chris?
Yeah, what was your hard? I'm intrigued. Were you? Did you need more of the sunshine and rainbow support from an external source or yourself, or did you need that hard step the fuck up? You're not hitting your potential.
Probably the more sunshine and rainbows for a while. But what ended up getting to a point, so I had lost 200-ish pounds, 180. I ended up getting really sick, and I didn't know why. I thought it was like acid reflux from losing all the weight, and then it just progressively got worse, and so I ended up in the hospital for like 2 weeks. I ended up, my gallbladder went bad from losing the weight. Like, I think most, like anyone that's in the weight, not anyone, but a lot of people in the weight loss community have dealt with that.
Right.
And then I ended up having like a gallstone get stuck in some, like my pancreas or whatever. And so it was all bad. But that became the hard, is like everything went to a standstill for like, because I had to have surgery, all that, like 2 months. And I freaked out because I couldn't work out.
Yeah.
I couldn't really eat the foods I wanted to because other people were kind of having to do it for me. So the hard became when life turns off what you've known for the last 2 years.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When life, that's, I think, part of the reason I don't want to get skin removal too, is I'm scared that I'm going.
Oh, you're afraid of the pause.
The pause is because it's my routine. I go to the gym 6 days a week. I work every day, Monday through Friday. Like, I have all these, that I'm scared of the pause. And I'm not afraid to say that, because that's something I think I'm scared of, because multiple people have pushed me to get it done. Mm-hmm. Not pushed me, but supported it. Mm-hmm. And like, even Angela super supports it. She supports me either way. But it's more in me, the mental pause. That's the hard. The hard is shutting life off.
That's so fascinating, because like it was exact opposite for me. I was like, as fast as I can do it, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And again, that's what's so fun about this, is like, there's no such thing as a one size fits all.
Well, and it's all mental too.
I can attest to what Chris has to say about fearing the pause. So my journey has definitely had all the bumps in the road that you can ask for. So if I'm not recovering from, let's say, a skin surgery, I'm probably nursing some injury, because when I was 500 pounds, I didn't take care of this physical vessel of a body. That's just what it is, point blank, period. So this journey has been like sometimes I go so hard that life kind of throws a bump in because I need to take a rest. Yeah. For me, that was losing 88 pounds on my absolute own, and then gaining some of the weight back because of my asthma and being put on steroids again. And then that pause was the 3 months I couldn't work out after bariatric surgery, where I thought, my life was going to be over. Then that pause became when I blew out my knee and I needed knee surgery after tearing my meniscus during wrestling training. I couldn't work out for 2 months. I was afraid of the pause more than anything. Yeah. Then I came back. And then maybe 3 months after recovering from knee surgery, I had my tummy tuck. Couldn't work out for 4 months or whatever the recovery time was on that tummy tuck. I've been so afraid of the pause, but so welcoming to the pause of my life. It's just one of those things where you don't have a choice. You're either going to stop, or life is going to stop you for a little while to remind you, hey, Dick, you're still human. Okay. It's just one of those natural things. I'm not saying that you got gallstones and, your gallbladder went bad because life was saying, hey, Chris, calm down. You lost, 200 pounds.
No,
but sometimes, life catches up. That's right. Life. Do I still live in fear of the pause? Yeah, man. In the back of my mind, I still have that little voice that's like, you're going to gain back all the weight if you stop right now, you silly fuck. But you have to know that that's fake, Right. Fear the pause, but welcome it, you know?
No, 100%.
And as far as the skin surgery route goes, dude, I'm not going to sit here as someone who had skin surgery and say, yo, you need to get it done. Right. I think that that's a personal decision for you. Yeah. I think that that's something that you need to discuss, with yourself. Really take a moment to sit by yourself and really weigh out all your options and kind of see where you really close your eyes and envision yourself in, let's say, the next 3 to 5 years. Is that with loose skin or is it without loose skin? Right. Then talk to your loved ones. Talk to Angela. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if this is, I'm not here to talk about your relationship, dude, but if this is something that's long-term in your mind, then you need to sit her down and be like, hey, this is something that I want to do. This is the time that I'm going to need to take off. And this is the money that I'm going to need to spend, because guess what? Skin surgery is not covered for dick. So,
which is dumb.
Oh, so dumb. unless you want a panellectomy, because they'll give out panellectomies like fucking hotcakes, but they don't understand if you lost 250 pounds, a panellectomy is going to do dick.
No.
I don't even know what a panellectomy is.
So, you know Mike in ALG? You know Mike?
Yeah.
So he had a panellectomy done. And actually, Steve had a panellectomy done too. So you remember when you got a tummy tuck and they went hip to hip?
Yep.
Well, you didn't have a hip to hip, but I had a hip to hip. But you know what I'm talking about? Hip to hip?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Go under what would have been a hip to hip, and it's just when they cut off the little pouch.
Ah.
They don't
Right,
pull
so
anything.
it's not a
There's
full.
Yeah, it's not a full tummy tuck. It's nothing
Yeah.
like that. They literally take the little fold of skin
The fold,
and
and
they
they cut it, and that's it.
That's it. That's a panellectomy.
Right, they don't literally tighten.
They don't tighten.
that
They don't
doesn't
do
do anything.
anything.
No,
They
it
don't
doesn't.
do nothing.
No.
And then you can end up like, you know, I'm Mike, who it's extra money at that point if you want a belly button.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Or you're gonna have to get a revision, or you're gonna have to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
so.
But
I
they'll
just
cover
love-
that. They'll cover
yeah.
that, no problem. Like,
Right, because.
That's been a
issue.
whole fascinating thing to me is just the fact of like not every doctor's the same, not everything. That
No.
is so much fun to me. It's like because I've always been given the sunshine and rainbows of the medical profession, being a doctor's son, and
Son,
I
you
always
have no choice.
like I mean straight up like I mean that's just
Right.
reality for me. It was when I was looking at getting excess skin removal surgery. I went to the best surgeon in town. Why? Because my dad knew him.
Right.
And and when I had to get this surgery, that surgery, when I blew up my knee, and my dad knows the best of every profession.
Right.
Like that's who I'm going to. And all of a sudden, I start hearing these horror stories of like, I thought all doctors were like freaking good at what they do.
Gods? Yeah, everyone thinks if you got a
There's some-
PhD, you're a god.
It's so funny to me because I'm like, I always
Yeah.
just associate doctors as like knowing what they're talking about. And then like I start hearing some of the horror stories. I'm like, wait, that was their
there's-
sequence?
Yeah. I've seen some horror stories of like
I'm like,
people going to
really?
Mexico or.
That's fascinating to me. But like I
Europe
always
for-
I
I
love the
always
Mexican
had the purity of
Did you?
doctors because of
No,
that
I didn't go
route.
the Mexican route. I know 3 people, including one guest, Anthony, that we had
Yep.
on here.
I know some people, yeah, but
It turns out
just-
great.
you
Like
have to be
Nicole, you know,
super
recreating Nicole.
careful.
Shout out to Nicole. We
Yep.
hope to have you on soon. She had every single one of her skin surgeries in Mexico. Had a
Yeah.
fantastic doctor, very famous doctor. Did a great job. Supposedly the bedside manner is better than it is in the United States. But
Nice.
again, that's all if you want to do it or not. Like if I were you, Chris, just given where you are in location, I would definitely go to Mexico.
No.
Like, he tells me I'm crazy, and you're gonna probably come out with one.
You're gonna
kidney,
be
but-
gone. The kidney's gonna disappear. But
Yeah,
hey,
but hey, I'm
still
telling
cheaper.
you right now, if you want to spend 12 grand, you do it in the United States of America. If you want to spend like 4.5
4.5 grand, you go to
you go down
Mexico.
to Mexico.
all right, I gotta pivot this conversation completely because something that I found very intriguing that I never heard before from you. So you got down all the way to 180.
Yeah, from
From 450-ish at 6'3", you got down to 180
Yeah, that's scary.
with no skin removal surgery. Because like skin removal surgery, you got 15 pounds of excess skin on you
Easy.
at least right now.
No,
So,
yeah,
like-
probably right around. Yeah.
Yeah, at least 15 pounds, maybe 20. And so what was that like? What was your day-to-day like perception of working out, of nutrition? And then how did you get yourself out of that to a more health?
That
Because again,
hole.
that's why like health is such a balance. Like
Oh,
you go down
100%.
the spectrums of one end, it's
Mhm.
bad. And you can go to one of the spectrums of the other. Like a great example, I'm so excited to have Michael on for this because Mike is on the other side of the spectrum right now. Where
Right.
it's like he's running like 70, 80 miles a week, easy.
That's insane. Yeah.
Hearing it and hearing how he's like having blood pressure
pain,
issues
yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. I'm asking him questions in our Discord server, and now I'm like, this is starting to make sense because I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
you're doing too much.
You're overtraining.
You're
Yeah.
overtraining. Like I would never say overtraining to most people because it's
Oh yeah, no,
most
that man
people
is overtraining.
he's
Yeah.
overtraining.
No, but if you're doing the
100%.
running plus the gym like that, yeah.
Oh,
No,
he's overtraining.
100%.
But so for you were kind of in that same position. How'd you get out of it? What was
Oh,
like your
okay.
kind of your process to it all?
So literally, I was 7 days a week, some days 2 days at the gym, like every day, cardio, weights, like 3 hours, hardcore, like
Working out.
working out. And I was only probably at like 2,100 calories a day.
Wow.
I was low end.
Wow. And you were probably low carb too.
Yeah, lower carb, low fat.
You know what
I've
I
always
was.
been.
You know what I was about bodybuilding show, right?
What?
when I was my last month and a half, 5 weeks going to my body, I was down to 1,300 calories a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That was stupid.
Yeah, no, I was low carb, low fat, high protein, bro diet. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've always stayed low fat. No matter this bulk is the first time I've gone. I'm at like 70 fat, and that's high for me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's high for you?
I've always stayed at like 50. Even
Okay.
on maintenance, it's at like 2,700 calories of 50 fat a day. I know anyone I'm talking to that's keto or anything, it's like that's in like one meal.
That's like one meal.
But no, I was so restrictive and hardcore and like ate the same meal every day, all day. Didn't divert at all. I would punish myself if I went out to eat. I would punish myself if I went off plan. Like I would just tear myself apart. I would say I'm failing. And literally I was in the gym, like I said, 3 hours a day, every day, plus working. I literally was addicted to losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I got, like I said, I stayed at 180 for a little while. And then I kept hearing, you're too skinny. You're skin and bones. Chris, from my mom, she's like, your ribs are literally poking out. You can see your spine. You're too skinny. And then I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You've gone so far left. Because you were so far right being freaking 400 pounds that then you go so far left that you have to find that healthy balance. And I tell anyone that the number on the scale is not be all end all. Just because you get to 180 pounds or say you want to get to 160, that doesn't mean that's where you're supposed to be or that that's healthy. And I think everybody's worried about the scale and getting as low as possible on the scale that they forget, like, you're meant to be at a certain weight. So
yeah, you're fighting genetics a little bit, and it's not in a good way.
No, because then you like I said, you're making everything work harder, and you're not healthy. And mentally, I was not healthy. Like literally, like I said, I was unhappy with life at that weight. So finally, I just said, okay, screw this. I want to eat more, and I like food, and I want to weight train. And so then I got up to like 205. And then
what was your shift? Was your shift to just like, was the shift body? Was it like, I want to just look better? Was it, all right, I need something changed, so I'm going to start working on muscle mass? What was what was
muscle
your
mass
focus
was
gain?
The thing. I was like, oh, I can't have huge muscles and be that skinny.
Right.
That doesn't go hand in hand.
Nope.
So I was like, I got to pick one. And I fell in love with weight, like heavy lifting and like bodybuilding and everything like that. And I was like, so I did a bunch of research online and everyone's like, you have to do this and eat more than I was eating by a lot and all this stuff. And I was like, all right, screw it. Worst thing that happens is I put 30 pounds on and I'm 215 and I'm not mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
And so but really it was the mental shift of knowing not to punish myself for eating.
I think that's so important. It's like, that's what I like about the ALG community. And we have people in all three positions. We have people that have successfully, we have people at the beginning, like they're 400 plus pounds and they're like, I don't even know where to fucking start. Cool. We have people that have lost 30, 40, 50, 80, 100, 150. We have people that have lost 200 pounds and they're like just getting to that point. And then we have people that have lost and sustained for 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
And there's levels to this. It's like most people,
the three of us.
Yeah. Most people get to that position where they start to overanalyze their weight loss after they've lost 200 pounds. And now they're so terrified of the slide. I think a lot of people call it. It's like they slide from 210 to 230. That 230 turns to 260. That 260 turns to 290. And you're so terrified of the slide that you will just hyper focus on just keeping that pulled. And it's not a nice life to live.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's like I look at the bodybuilding show and it's like, it was cool.
What percentage of fat did you get down to for that? Do you know?
I probably was like 8.
Yeah. See, that's what I was at when I was at my lowest, was about 8% body fat.
Yeah. I mean, I was probably 10. Let's be honest here. I'll pull up a picture.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have abs.
So so is that in the car? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, I was.
Is that on the OnlyFans?
On the OnlyFans.
Chris, so
Yeah.
do you have plans? Do you want to compete? Is that in the
I
cards for you? If it
I'm
is that before or after skin surgery? I'm asking you a lot of questions right now, but I
I
need to know.
know. I'm thinking of maybe doing the summer shred show, the
Yeah.
transformation class, like Poro did, like Dez did, at least once. I want to do that at least
Cool.
once.
Mhm.
Me and Angela have talked about it, and she supports it, and I know there's a couple other people I know that are interested in doing it. That if I had the support and they had my support, I would 100% probably do that next year. And then competing, I would like to maybe power lift.
Yeah, I see you more in the powerlifting realm than I do in the like men's physique.
No, yeah, no. I love heavy lifting. I'm training harder now than I ever have. This bulk
What's
has
your
gone really
bench?
well.
I gotta know. What's your bench?
Not very. That's like 225. I don't go
225.
crazy heavy. 225. It's like
225 or how many reps?
Like 8.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
I
not
don't
bad.
bench a lot like conventional. Like my squats, I'm kind of rebuilding how I squat because my knees were bad and I just had bad form.
Yeah, I'm the same way there.
So I'm slowly
I don't
like
squat.
I'm just slowly like going slow to high now.
Mhm.
And then so yeah, really it's the summer shred next year would be what I'm looking forward to
Cool.
doing.
Cool.
I tell you what, as we kind of wrap this episode up, I
where I
will
was
say,
Mhm.
when we have a part 2, because we'll start having part 2s here in the future.
Yeah.
Chris, I know you're a science guy at heart.
I am a science guy at heart.
And John's gonna have to be
And
quiet
I like
because, and we're gonna have like a nutritional
Yeah,
gym
100%.
conversation that like people that are A types that need that want that like we're gonna have to have that conversation sometime.
No,
'Cause-
100%.
Yeah.
I'm a very science guy at heart, like how food works, how supplements work. I'm very much the supplement guy too.
Okay.
Oh, I love
In
subs.
terms of stuff, I
like
love subs.
creatine, like
Like creatine,
testosterone.
That's not a sub. You can't go. Well, you can't go to the store and buy fucking testosterone.
Sure, you no.
Yeah, you can.
Like
My Uncle
laxagenin.
Buck has it.
You know what laxagenin is, David? It's a plant steroid, basically. It's a naturally occurring steroid, so it keeps you natural, but you put on
not natural.
but some gains that are not like SARMs or steroids. So
It's that whole game is so interesting to me.
I love
like,
SARMs. I won't. I don't even give a fuck. I fucking love SARMs.
SARMs.
They're fucking great.
It's just like it's so interesting. Just like I have no problem with people taking tests and all this kind of stuff as long as if someone asks, you just be honest.
yeah, if you're not gonna be natural, then don't try and fake. Oh, hey, I've gotten this.
Who's
100%
the
natural?
Who's the 55-year-old guy who's like O'Hearn?
Mike O'Hearn. Yeah,
Mike O'Hearn. This motherfucker saying he's natural at 55 years old. You are out of your damn mind. Like, not a fucking
No, there's
chance.
people that say so, and I'm like, okay.
I know. I personally know someone who is best friends with Mike O'Hearn.
Yeah, and he's a liar. And I'm
I'm
sorry.
not going to say all that on air, but
I will, because you're full of shit. Like, but it's fine. If you were taking steroids, that's what you want to do. Sweet.
Yeah,
well, I think Chris and I have had this
Don't fake
conversation,
it.
and I know me and David have had this conversation. I am from the idea that there should be performance enhancing drugs allowed in Olympics and
sports.
professional sports. And if you are of someone who thinks that there shouldn't, then they should have their own league.
A league.
I was gonna say there should be different classes, just
Right.
like there is for competing. Like in shows, there's natural and when you're not natural.
It's not openly known, but
yeah, it's like there's natural show, and then there's we don't test.
we don't
test. We don't know.
Bro, it's so funny doing a competition, and like I'm just sitting there going, and I'm like, all these guys are on test, at least, if not all a boatload of other stuff. And but again, it helps with the average person going, if health and happiness is the goal.
Yeah.
There's a great balance. But if a physique is your goal, you better know realistically what it's actually going to take to get there.
Right.
And if Mike O'Hearn is your definition of success, which is fine, you better know he's taken probably trend. He's probably taken test. He's probably taken 3 times the average dose of test the average male is putting into his body. And it's like, it's not protein that's getting him there. I'm sorry. It's hard work.
What?
But it's not protein.
Listen, if you take steroids and you play baseball, you still have to be able to hit the fucking ball, okay? At the end of the day, you still got to be able to lift the weight. It is what
That's
it is.
true.
All right, fam. We
All right,
gotta
we got to wrap this bad
All
boy
right,
up.
guys.
So before
Got
we
it.
wrap
On
it
you.
up, here comes the two questions that we ask. Chris, if you could go back in time and talk to the 11-year-old version of yourself who has no idea what he's about to experience in life, what would you tell him?
Go out of your comfort zone
Mm-hmm.
and don't be afraid to try new things. Like, don't be afraid to try to lose the weight. Don't be afraid to go and make friends. Like,
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
The comfort zone thing is very important. Okay, so the last and final question I have for you, Chris, is this.
yes.
3 solid piece of advice that you can give to anybody listening to this podcast. It doesn't have to be about weight loss, but just 3 really good pieces of advice that have helped you.
Love yourself. Like, genuinely love who you are. Because for so long, there's a lot of people that they can love everyone else, but they can't love themselves. And I've learned that that is a necessity. Find your people. No matter if it's weight loss or if it's life, find your people. Find the people that fill your cup, that are the ones that like you three, or us three. We all genuinely want the best for each other.
Right.
And if anyone needed anything, I would go to you guys, and vice versa.
Right.
And then the last thing I would say is trust the process. Don't give up. So often people they don't see the scale move, or they don't get the job, or they don't do this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up.
Amen.
Trust the process. Keep going. Life has a way of figuring everything out.
I like that.
Yeah.
That one right there. That's
then
how we're going to end this one. Life has a way of figuring it out.
we're gonna end with this. Take steroids. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Real quick before we sign off, Chris, where can people find you on social media?
On Instagram, my username is chrisxcross_gets_fit. And then that's it, really, for social media.
Awesome. Well, Chris, I appreciate you making some time and talking to us today. I know we were a little bit all over the place, but there was a lot of goodies in this one. And I think that, if you've made it this far and you're still listening, you heard them, you loved them, and yeah. So,
and you're a stud muffin. Whoever listened to all this stuff.
We got those pythons.
That's right. Oh, really quick before we sign off, just a little how you doing
this
from all of us? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Chris has the largest arms on his swear to God.
Pinch the lats. Pinch the lats. Lats. There it is.
All right, guys. If you would like to be a part of the ALG, if you would like to be a part of the ALG community, please feel free to DM any of the 3 people that you heard tonight in this podcast. We will,
or the message down below,
or the message down below in the comment link or wherever the fuck it's called on YouTube. And you can find me at JARPS_journey. You can find him FIT_DRock. For now, forever, love yourself, be good, stay sexy, stay humble. Be good, guys.
Sweet.